That's what it does. It starts even when we're not ready. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. We're live.
We are live again on June 17th, 2020, Wednesday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, talking to the world.
That's right. And overcoming my frustration with the childproof plugs in our house.
And I told John he's going to be happy with those when we have grandchildren. I know I'm looking way ahead. But there won't be any complaints when they are saving grandchildren's little fingers from getting electrocuted, however those things work. Anyhow, I am Radlyn Mendoza, and this is my husband, John Gardner.
Hello.
And hola, Janice, and we are at Gardner Mendoza. I guess we could say we're the founders of Gardner Mendoza because that's what we are. But
we are the founders.
we work there. We're like the janitors of Gardner and Mendoza.
That's right. That's what we do.
But we have a lot of great information for you tonight. And as always, we are going to give Virginia courts updates, USCIS updates, and immigration court updates, immigration law updates. Your questions, of course. So if you have questions, please type them in the comments so we can see them, we can get them, we can answer them. And we appreciate you guys asking the questions because it makes it more fun and keeps us sharp because we're getting kind of old and we need to sharpen the tools.
Right, we come to you every Wednesday evening to give you updates. It started with the coronavirus, right?
That was the update, but the very first one we did on my birthday, that was February 19th was my birthday update. The
updates on the courts and all that, the USCIS closures and all those things.
Yep.
And we keep it going.
Yes. So pop the questions into the comments and we will get to them. All right.
Yeah, that's really the main thing, the Q&A. We like to go live so that whatever questions folks have, they can throw them out there and we can get them answered for you. All right.
And I love seeing Miss Janice on Facebook Live because she has been here with us for a few weeks. So she must think that we're giving out valuable information.
That's right.
Hopefully we are. Anyhow. All right. Honey, why don't you go ahead and start with the Virginia State Courts because that's what's on the papers.
That's what we always start with. So the first thing that we always start with during the coronavirus here, I like to give everyone an update on what's going on with the courts. Not every court, of course, but I talk about Virginia Beach and Norfolk because that's our immediate area here. If you have any questions about any of the other cities, Newport News, Chesapeake, Hampton, Suffolk, New Kent County, Isle of Wight, you name it, feel free to shoot me an email or call our office and we'll see what we can find out for you. Even if you're not a client of ours, that's fine. We want people to make sure that they know what's going on with their court hearings. So here's what's going on for Virginia Beach right now. So criminal cases in Virginia Beach that are set in courtrooms 1 and 2, and this is in the General District Court. And so those are the two criminal courtrooms, 1 and 2. Those cases are still going forward as scheduled. So if you have a criminal case in Virginia Beach General District Court, make sure that you get to court because you won't be able to use coronavirus as an excuse, okay? You'll need to be there.
Darn.
Only people that are directly involved in the case are allowed to enter the courtrooms. Others can go into the courthouse, but the courtroom itself, you can only go in if you're a lawyer, a defendant, or a witness in the case, okay? You have to be a party in the case to go in, all right? Also, you're going to need a mask to go into the courthouse, and when you do enter, they're going to be asking you a couple of questions to see whether you have any potential coronavirus, COVID-19 symptoms, so just be prepared for that as well, okay? Cases that are set in traffic courtroom C, those are going to be DUIs in Virginia Beach. Those cases are also going forward. If you have some reason that you think you need a continuance in those cases, make sure you let your attorney know or try to get a hold of the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office if you don't have a lawyer, because in Virginia Beach, DUIs are all handled by prosecutors. We call them Commonwealth's attorneys, and if you need a continuance, you'll need to go through them to set a new date, all right? If you have a traffic case, that's going to be in courtrooms A and B in Virginia Beach. Those cases are all being continued. So if you have a case between now and June 30th, and it's a traffic case, so we're talking about a suspended driver's license or reckless driving or no operator's license or speeding, those cases are all getting continued. If they're between now and June 30th, you don't need to go. The case will automatically be continued, and you're going to get a letter from the court advising you of your new court date. Okay. There are some exceptions to these continuances, and the exceptions are bond hearings, bond appeals, determination of counsel hearings, emergency protective order hearings, as well as attorney determination of counsel hearings. Did I already say that one? I feel like
I don't know. I'm monitoring the comments.
All right.
Which we do have a couple of questions, but keep
all
going.
Right. Go ahead. You know what? You answer some questions, and then we'll get back to this. All right? Because the questions.
No.
Really
it's one question. It's one
okay,
question.
Go ahead and answer it then.
Yeah, you think so? Okay.
Yep,
Yasir says any reschedule of missed biometrics yet? So, and Yasir is writing from Illinois, and I can only speak to our local office, and I believe most of the USCIS offices are kind of following the same protocol, but in our local office here in Norfolk, they are not doing biometrics until the end of June, beginning of July. So they're not restarting those biometrics appointments. So look to see in the next couple of weeks here, Yasir. Hopefully you'll get it. If you are a new applicant and you've never had biometrics done before, you will most likely have to go in and get the biometrics done. If you have had biometrics done before, there is a possibility that they will reuse your old prints. So they were very excited about being able to do that, and I'm thinking, why didn't you just do that before? But anyway, that's just a different topic, and we're not even going to get into that. But that is what is happening, reusing of previously captured prints. But Yasir, if you have not done prints before, you will hopefully get your biometrics notice in the next couple of weeks. Again, our local office, they have not sent any notices out yet, and that is on purpose. All right, go right ahead. Sorry.
All right. No, that's good. That's good. Great question. Great answer.
Keep the questions coming.
All right.
Makes it fun. Makes it interesting. Keeps it sharp.
So moving on to the Virginia Beach Juvenile and Domestic Relations District Court. These are going to be cases that involve family. In my practice, that's usually domestic assault and battery cases, but there can be other things as well. Those cases also, if it's between now and June 28th or 30th, those cases are going to be continued as well. The exceptions are arraignments and bond motions for incarcerated adults, detention hearings for juveniles that are detained, abuse and neglect hearings that are requesting an emergency removal order or a preliminary child protective order, and any preliminary protective order requests and two-year protective order hearings are still going forward. And the reason I bring those up, and I really wanted to mention those specifically, is because, you know, if you have a situation in your home that you think is not safe, don't feel like you can't go forward with a protective hearing. You protective order hearing. You absolutely can. If you feel like you need, you know, to do that because you're not safe, then absolutely go do it. Okay. Finally, the Virginia Beach General District Court civil cases. I have not been mentioning these since we've been doing these live updates, but I've been getting a few questions about them, so I wanted to mention those in Virginia Beach. So Civil Courtroom A, just so you know, beginning July 1st, the first returns on cases will be heard Monday through Friday at 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, and 11:30. And in Civil Courtroom B, beginning August 1st, first returns on warrants, notices of motions for judgment, and garnishments will be heard on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 8:30. Again, in Virginia Beach, if you have questions, and this would go for Norfolk as well, feel free to reach out to the clerk's offices. Even though many of the hearings are being continued and the cases are being continued, the clerk's offices are open. So if you have a question, call the clerk's office and see if you can get an answer from them, okay? Because you just don't want to miss something that's going forward in court. There are very few things that are worse than any kind of judicial proceeding happening that you're a part of and you're not there, okay? You don't want that, no matter what side of it you're on, okay? Moving on to Norfolk real fast. any case that you have, any civil, traffic, or criminal case in Norfolk General District Court that's set to be heard between now and June 28th is continued. So Norfolk has a slightly more aggressive approach than Virginia Beach. The Norfolk Clerk's Office, again, as I just said, is open. So there are people there. They are encouraging you to call and not show up, but you can show up if that's what you feel like you need to do in Norfolk. And then lastly in Norfolk, again, because I've been getting a lot of questions from landlord-tenant case situations. I've been hearing from tenants and from landlords about this. And the deal in Norfolk, anyway, is that all residential unlawful detainer actions and the issuance of writs of eviction that are presently set to be heard on or before June 28th are hereby suspended and continued. So if you have a landlord-tenant case in Norfolk that's set to be heard between now and June 28th, it's not going to be going forward. So that's probably pretty good news, I'm guessing mostly for tenants, and maybe not the best news for landlords, but you never know. All right? So those are...
Depends on the perspective.
That perspective, exactly. We were just talking about that.
Yes, John and I got into a philosophical discussion right before we jumped on to the Facebook Live, yes. And maybe it'll come out in bits and pieces here, but it depends on the perspective.
Absolutely. But anyway, so those are the updates on Norfolk and Virginia Beach. Again, if you have a case pending and you know it's pending, you know what court it's in, and you just are still not sure, is my case going forward? Is it not going forward? What's happening? Feel free to call me, shoot me an email, and I will find out, okay? Sorry, folks.
Our dog stretched.
Our dog
He's so lazy, and he moved the camera. All right, let me answer a couple of questions here. BJ, right. How's it going? He says, can you expedite an EAD without a biometrics appointment yet? My AOS adjustment of status package was received, fingerprint received 60 days ago and counting. So it sounds like maybe you got a biometrics notice and then maybe it was canceled, BJ. But you can request expedited EAD if you have a receipt, which it looks like you will have a receipt if you've already gotten biometrics notice that was canceled. So yes, you can. The problem with getting expedited EAD, it's really difficult to get. It's a very high standard to show the financial hardship, but absolutely you can give it a go and give it a shot. BJ, give me a yes if I can answer the other question that you posed to us via Messenger. I believe it was yesterday or Tuesday. Wait, Tuesday? Yes. Because I can address that too. It had some, legal aspects to it that I didn't really want to get into via Messenger, and it looks like Shelly had sent you a message back. But if you want me to talk about that here on live, I shall. If not, we will keep it at Messenger. All right. We also have a question from Wawi. Yeah. Hopefully, I pronounced that correctly. She says, can a person apply for citizenship first before applying removal of conditions in the green card? Thanks, Alex. Our buddy Alex is on. Happy belated birthday. I don't know if I wished you a Facebook happy birthday or not, but we hope to see you guys really soon. Yeah, and again, congratulations on the beautiful baby, Remy.
Such a sweetheart.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So, So basically, with regard to Wawi's question, when you get your green card, the 2-year conditional residence green card, okay, the timing is that you have to file the removal of those conditions in the 90-day period before that 2-year card expires. So you cannot file for citizenship for 2 years and 9 months from the date that you receive that conditional permanent residence card. So I'm going to say no to that, that you cannot file for citizenship because of the timing of that. Hopefully that answers your questions. You've got to do that I-751 first, most likely. Not most likely, sorry. Absolutely, you've got to do that one first. And then you can file for the citizenship. Maybe the question is... Maybe the question is that can you file for citizenship while the 751 is pending and still pending? And yes, the answer is yes, you can do that. So, okay. Let's see here. We're going to try to delete some of these comments that we're getting, which happens. All right. Okay, so get rid of those there. Sorry about that. We're getting some.
Yeah, folks. If you're not here to ask us some serious questions about immigration law, then kindly go to another site where you can, put obscenities and that kind of thing. All right, that's not what we do here.
Yep.
You may have confused us with another law firm or another website.
All right. No problem. We're gonna get the trolls. No problem. So really quickly, with regard to BJ's question, the question I believe stated was that whether you can file for an extension, the I-129. Hold on one second. I'm gonna try to just. Sorry, guys. We are.
Yeah, we've got some trolls tonight. Oh, but look, Robert is watching. Robert, are you working on the huge cookie for the kids? You better get it in the oven.
Jeez, people are crazy tonight. Is there nothing else to do tonight, guys? All right, this has never happened, but it's all good. We're rolling with it, and just trying to keep up with the valid comments here. All right. So with regard to filing the I-29, it really depends, BJ. I mean, the O1 is a dual intent visa, so you should be able to do that while the adjustment of status is pending. But what was sticking out in my mind was the last action rule, and again, not going to get too much into that, but the timing, you have to be very careful with the timing with that, but it should allow you to continue working with the 240-day rule. So BJ, hopefully I answered that question. Yes, give me a thumbs up if that is correct. All right, so we're spending a lot of time here deleting comments, which is kind of unreal, but hey,
yeah, looks like some folks. That's right.
It's the internet. What are you gonna do?
So apparently, a few fellas who are in their parents' basement in their underwear, who don't have anything else to do, have decided to put some obscene comments up here, and that's just sad. I feel sorry for them.
All right. So let's see here. What else?
Somebody wants to know if they, when the embassy in the Philippines is going to be opened up.
This is the $1 million question. When is the embassy in the Philippines going to be opening up? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. So we're still kind of at a wait and see approach here with regard to that. And what kind of case is it? Are we talking about a green card case? Are we talking about, it's still, despite what it is, there's still going to be a delay in that because it's closed, and if you're applying for the green card based on different categories, then it's going to, you may be subject to the executive order that is going to expire at the end of this month. All right?
All right, there was another question that just came through that was...
All right. Let's see here. Did we miss the question?
Yeah, it was a long question that was just...
All right, so we are basically...
Yeah. Sorry, folks, we've got a couple trolls with us tonight who are clogging up. It's hard for us to get the questions because it's just all their nonsense remarks coming through that are making it difficult.
All right, okay.
We are making sure to report them now, and hopefully that will help.
Okay, so let's go to USCIS. So as you guys know, opened back up on June the 4th, okay? And our office started interviewing on June the 15th. So basically, they're all systems go. We had a really important field office director meeting on June the 4th. And basically, the bottom line is safety is the #1 top priority, okay? Safety is the #1 top priority. So 1, follow the instructions on your interview notice. 2, make sure you wear a mask. And 3, don't bring your children or anyone who is not going to be a part of that interview. So, but again, they just want to make sure that everybody is safe and wearing the masks, and the officer will wear the mask, and they're going to have protective screens. So let's see here. What else do we have to say about that? All right. We're getting a lot of questions about processing times right now. And the processing times are, they're right now, what they have put out recently at our June 4th meeting, they're pretty much the processing times for pre-coronavirus, pre-COVID-19. And so what that means is, you're looking at a green card case, if filed and no major issues, at around the 8 to 9 month mark, okay? But our prediction and what we've been talking about with our colleagues and within our office is that these processing times are just going to get longer and longer. And you guys may have seen in the news that they are planning on doing massive furloughs for USCIS employees, about 15,000. And if that actually happens, and it has gotten pushed back to August, but if that actually happens, we're going to see more delays in the processing times there. So unfortunately, you guys did not take our advice these 3 months. What did we say? We said, hey, you guys need to file, right? File because things are open. We want to keep processing. People didn't file. There has been a dramatic decrease in USCIS revenue. And that's why the USCIS is low on funding right now. So hopefully as the economy starts to open up and you all feel safe and comfortable about filing and moving your cases forward, then we will see more revenue coming into USCIS. But for now, they're in really deep trouble financially, and they do need that congressional money to the tune of $1.2 billion to bolster the funding over a 2-year period. So hopefully, that doesn't happen, but it's really possible. And again, the processing times, guys, you're looking at them on the USCIS websites. We've posted up processing times, but I really think that those are going to change. So if you are thinking about filing and you're kind of on the fence about it, now really, really, really is the time to file. Right. Because it's just going to get worse. It's just going to get longer. It's going to get lengthier. Do we have another question? Yeah, we had a question. Somebody wanted to know how soon, the question was phrased, how soon in advance can a green card holder apply for citizenship? So it depends on how you got the green card and if you got the green card through marriage. Then if you're still living with the U.S. citizen, petitioner, and spouse, then you can do that 2 years and 9 months after you get that green card. And if you did not get it through marriage, then it's 5 years. So I say 4 years and 9 months because you can apply 90 days early. Yep. All right. So what else do we have here? Do you want to talk a little bit? Oh, wait a minute. We do have immigration court updates. Hearing and non-detained cases are postponed through and including Thursday, July 2nd. And all immigration courts will be closed Friday, July 3rd for Independence Day. All right, but I think that's all I have for the immigration updates. Let's see here. Janice has a question. I feel like, yeah, somebody had a question that was longer, and then it got pushed off the screen because of all this
silliness about, I don't know, the two trolls here that we have tonight asking if I can cut their grass.
Okay, so BJ says, I'm worried about the adjustment of status green card hold that I read on roll call. Hopefully it's not official. That should not impact your case, BJ. But again, shoot me an email, Radlin, RADLYN @gmlaw.net if you want to discuss a little bit further, and we can talk about that. All right. Do you want to talk about the?
Well, one of the questions I keep getting is about the beaches, so I am going to very quickly. It is summertime, and so everybody's asking about the situation. There are some strict rules about the beaches. However, Virginia Beach is exempted, so I think that that's a good thing, obviously. So here's the deal for Virginia Beach. All right, beachgoers are required to practice physical distancing, of course. We know that. Groups of more than 10 beachgoers are prohibited, and the wearing of masks is encouraged. It's not required, but encouraged. Here are the acceptable activities in Virginia Beach if you're on the beach. Resting, sunbathing, walking, exercising, swimming and bathing, fishing, surfing, other board and paddle sports, and individual and family play. All right. The prohibited activities are group sports. That'd be things like volleyball, football, frisbee, and here's a question right now. Did we get our son citizenship? Somebody asked if now would be a good time to get...
Now is always a good time.
Mm-hmm. The speakers are prohibited, and large coolers are prohibited. Alcohol is prohibited. Tents and groupings of umbrellas are prohibited, and fishing on the sand beaches in the resort area are prohibited. Just be aware that parking garages and surface lots are limited to 50% capacity, and no entertainment or programming that generates mass gatherings will be permitted, and beach play sets will remain closed. Okay, so those are the updates with regard to the beaches. Bottom line is everything's pretty much back to normal at the beach as far as I can tell, even with the social distancing. All right.
Okay. So let me answer my cousin Roy's question. Is now a good time to apply for citizenship? I think it is, just because things are just going to get longer and lengthier in time frame. So yeah. The sooner you file, it's basically first in, first out. So first in line gets processed first. So if you get behind a whole bunch of people, then, I mean, I don't have to explain that to you. My cousin is very smart. He knows what I'm talking about. Yes, you should go ahead and file that now. Reach out. Shoot me a message and we'll go from there. Okay, so let me talk just a couple of FAQs that we're actually getting in the office. And that is, we're getting a lot of calls about B1, B2s. Their I-94 is expiring because of canceled flights and all this other stuff, right. Because of COVID-19, basically. So, yes, my recommendation is to file the I-539 to extend that B1, B2 I-94. And even if you... your I-94 has already expired, if it's been only a couple of weeks, you should still file that, and that way you don't jeopardize any future returns on that B1, B2 multiple entry tourist visa. So we are still recommending that, all right? And then along the same lines, we've gotten some calls about people who are stuck abroad as a lawful permanent resident. And as you all know, that every time, as a permanent resident, every time you come into the United States, you are making an entry into the United States. And if you have been outside of the country for more than 6 months, more than a year, you can get into trouble. And when you come back into the United States, this Customs and Border Protection can, question you about did you abandon your lawful permanent resident status? So we're getting a lot of inquiries about, hey, my mom's stuck abroad, and she's gotten her flight canceled a couple of times, and now we're almost beyond a year. Well, you got to document that. She can't just try to come in, 14 months later and say, oh, it was because of the coronavirus. She definitely has to say, okay, why were you there so long in the first place? Were you taking care of some important family matters? Were you taking care of a sick family member? What was it? You need to have that documentation. Then you need to show that you tried to book the flights and they were not available, or that they were canceled. So please, 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 if you're out of the country and you're kind of hitting up on that 6-month mark and absolutely that 1-year mark, that you absolutely have to document and make sure that you can show your due diligence that you tried and this is what happened. All right? Okay. Any other questions? I don't think we have any other questions here, but if you guys do, shout them out, put them in the comments. I know that it looked like Janice had a question, but I think that I missed it.
Yeah.
Love seeing you too, Roy, and love seeing your work on Facebook. If you guys need any granite, Seven Cities Granite with Roy, he's awesome, he's amazing. So
and we want to remind everyone again that we do have our second office open now in Newport News. So if you're on the peninsula and you prefer to come visit us at Oyster Point, that is now an option. When you call to make an appointment, just ask if you can meet in the Newport News office if that's your preference, and we will accommodate you, all right?
All right. Awesome. Well, listen, and the number to that office, and I still don't have it memorized yet, is 757-693-5532. So if you guys want to make an appointment, as John said, please call that number. You can always also call our office number, the main office number in Virginia Beach, 757-464-9224. And you can reach out to us through Messenger or at our email address, info@gmlaw.net. BJ, I gave you my email address. If you want to continue that conversation, be happy to talk to you about that. All right, guys, it's been awesome. As always, please like our page, share our page if you know anyone where this information might be helpful or useful.
And as always, if you have any questions, even if they're not legal questions, we always tell you, if you think that we might know the answer or can find the answer, please give us a call and we'll see if we can track it down for you about anything. All right?
Awesome.
All right, stay safe, everyone. Do thumbs
up.
All right, take care.
All right, bye, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.